And so today I'm breaking down 3 ways to invest in short-term rentals. That is rental arbitrage, co-hosting, or owning the property. Most importantly, I'm going to talk about which one actually makes you money or which one of these could you actually lose money on. And what you need to understand is most hosts don't fail because of the property. They fail because they select the wrong model. And here's the hard part. You're not going to see it right away. You're going to see it about 6 months down the road after you've already invested thousands of dollars. Now, your calendar might look full, but your money may not match that. And I know what I'm talking about works because we've been hosting for over a decade. We've hosted over 10,000 guests. And over the past 12 months, we've audited over 100 listings in cities like Atlanta, Phoenix, Orlando, and Dallas. And I gotta tell y'all, this question comes up every single time. Folks are asking which model actually works. And so today I'm gonna break it all down. We're gonna settle it. And by the end of this video, you will have a simple way to decide which one of these actually fit your financial goals. So before we run the numbers, one quick note. Airbnb changed its pricing model. So most hosts will now pay a 15% Airbnb fee and guests don't actually see a separate fee anymore. And just to be clear, that is specific to Airbnb. So if a booking comes from somewhere like VRBO or booking.com, those fees are going to be different. But the numbers I'm about to show you are based on Airbnb. Now, here's the property. It is located in College Park, Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house, approximately about 1,800 square feet. And for a little bit more context, it's located within a 5-minute drive to the Atlanta Hartsfield Airport, one of the busiest and largest airports in the world. And that's important because demand here is steady. You're going to end up with business travelers during the week, leisure travelers on the weekend, and then events throughout the rest of the year. So there's no major slow season here. And the numbers are roughly $399 per night with 62% occupancy. And I know you may be saying, okay, Seth, that occupancy number is a little bit low. And you may be right because in most of our properties, we run between 85% and 90% occupancy. But for this, I want to use conservative numbers, not the kind of most rosy things that make it look like you're going to make a lot of money. We need to make this concrete, y'all, so you're able to make an informed choice. And at $399 and 62% occupancy, you're going to end up with about $90,000 per year. And go ahead and hold that number because what happens next will then depend on the model that you choose. So let's go and start with ownership. And we're starting here because that is actually what most people want, or maybe I should say that's what most people are familiar with. And I get it. You own the property, you build wealth, but here's the real cost to get into a property by owning it. To buy this property that I'm showing you here in Atlanta, it's roughly $470,000. And your costs look like this. You have 90% down payment, and your startup costs look like this: $94,000 down, $9,400 at closing, $15,000 to $18,000 to set up the property. So that is about $120,000 to start. Now, here's the other numbers you need to help that make sense. And that $90,000 revenue becomes $76,500 after the Airbnb fee. And your operating costs are about $32,000. So that leaves $44,500. Now, depending on your interest rate, your mortgage is going to be about $30,600 per year. And after all of that, that leaves about $13,900 per year. That's roughly about $1,150 per month. And I know you might be thinking, that's all that's left over? Well, this is where most people will get this wrong. They may see that number and think something is broken. Well, it's not. That's just how the ownership model works. So Airbnb takes a large share. So that means that your cash flow is going to look a little bit smaller. But here's the thing. Ownership is a little bit unique because you are paid in 3 different ways. So your cash flow of roughly $1,100 per month is only the first way that you're paid. The second way that you're paid is the roughly $4,000 per year that you're going to gain in equity in the property. And the third way is appreciation. And Atlanta averages roughly 4.5%. That is roughly $21,000 per year. So for owning the property, your real return is closer to $40,000 to $45,000 per year, not that $13,000 I just showed you. And there are also significant tax benefits that you also have to consider in this number as well. So with owning, it's not helpful to ask, how much money do I make each month? You should start asking, well, what does it make in total annually? And that is how ownership works. Now, let's go and talk about rental arbitrage, because this is where most hosts will start. That is because with arbitrage, you have lower entry, faster cash flow, and your startup is between $20,000 to $25,000 per year. And with that same property, that's $90,000 in revenue, it becomes $76,500 after you pay the Airbnb fee. Now, let's take a look at your cost. Your rent is roughly $26,400 per year. Your cleaning fee is $15,600 per year. Utilities at $4,800 per year. Insurance and supplies are about $4,000 per year. So that is about $51,000 in total. And so what is left? Roughly around $25,500 per year. And broken down monthly, well, that is about $2,100 per month. And as you can tell, it is actually much higher than ownership, and that is why people like it. But here's the problem. Your biggest cost, rent, well, that never changes, but everything else does. And if your revenue drops, if you end up with more competition, if your bookings slow down a little bit, your rent is going to stay the same. And this is sometimes where people will get stuck. They're paying for a property that's losing money every single month. And when the margins get a little tighter, that's where you end up in trouble. So here's the rule. What I want you to do is drop your income projection by 20%. And if the deal still works, well, it is solid. And if it doesn't, if it only works when everything is perfect, and we know nothing is ever perfect, well, this model simply does not work. And this third model, well, this is one that most hosts will skip, and that is co-hosting. You can get into co-hosting without a mortgage, no lease, no big startup costs. And here what you're doing is you're managing the property for someone else, and in exchange, you're getting between 15 to 25% of the gross revenue. So let's say you negotiate about 20%. Well, that's about $18,000 per year and about $1,500 per month. And this is on the gross amount. So this is before the owner pays that Airbnb fee. You're paid off top. Now, you are making a little bit lower income, but that is on zero risk. And here's what some hosts will miss. You're not building property equity. You are building a skill. And in this process, you learn what gets bookings, what loses them, how to price a property competitively, and how to manage guest issues. And the important thing is you're doing this without risking your own money. And in this listing that I audited in Dallas, our host co-hosted for 2 years, then bought their first property. And their year 1 looks like what most people's year 3 look like. Because by the time they purchased and started hosting their own property, they already knew what worked. And that gave them an unfair advantage. And this model scales. So with 3 properties, that's about $54,000 annually. With 5 properties, well, that is about $90,000 annually. And you're doing this without debt or having your capital tied up. And most hosts will choose the wrong model for these 3 reasons. So they chase the highest monthly number, and I get it. They copy a strategy that someone else is using in a different market. And third, they underestimate how hard each model is to execute. So here's how you decide. Here are 3 questions to help you land this. Here's the first question. What are you missing right now? Is it money? Is it time? Or is it experience? And the second question is, well, how much risk can you handle? Not what sounds good, but the real numbers. And the third question is, what are you optimizing for? Cash now or wealth later? And your answer to these 3 questions will help you decide which model is best for you. And so we looked at the same house, 3 models, 3 different outcomes. Ownership builds long-term wealth, rental arbitrage produces higher short-term cash, and co-hosting builds your skill with the lowest possible risk. So your task now is to match the model to where you are right now, not where you wish you were. And if you're setting up or refreshing your Airbnb and want to know exactly the items that drives your revenue, revenue and drives those 5-star reviews, I've created the Airbnb setup checklist. It tells you exactly what you need and all the things that you can ignore, and you can go and grab it down below using the link. But here's the problem. You can pick the right model and still struggle because the model doesn't get you bookings. Listings do. And there are specific things inside your listings that decide whether someone books or scrolls straight past. And I break it down in this video right here because when you pair what you've learned in this video with that one, you're going to be ahead of 90% of the other hosts in your market. I'll see you over there.